Hey everyone, this is Eagle Owl, and I've got 99 problems, but a bench ain't one of them. On this video, I want to go into a scenario that I feel could be inspirational and help out people mentally. I've been learning how to put it in practice myself recently because I've struggled from anxiety basically my whole life. So here goes. This video is called Good Times Are Not Permanent, but neither are bad times. I want to talk about how it relates to life in general and how it relates to the workout training. Um, you might be going through a time in your life where you're with someone that you think is special and you can't believe it's true, and you just got in an apartment and everything is great, and for 2 or 3 years you're like, man, this is awesome, and then you and her split up, and then you downsized to a smaller apartment because you were both sharing the bills or whatever. And during a time when everything was going great, you couldn't believe it. But in retrospect, you know that everything in life is dynamic and eventually changes. So there's a likelihood it wouldn't have stayed that way forever. And so you could have appreciated it more while you was immersed in it. And then when the negative time hits, um, you just feel like life is like no good. What's the purpose? And when those negative, the same way that good scenario doesn't last forever from the day you're born to you're dead, that negative scenario also don't last forever. But while you're steeped in that negative scenario, that's all you're feeling. That's all you know, and so it's easy to get to be really brought down and to be pulled under it. Um, so what I tell myself is to help me out mentally is throughout your entire life, minute by minute, by hour, by week, by day, something positive happens. You're in a positive state for a while, and then later it's more, average, neutral, and later it's negative, and it's constantly moving around. Positive, a little bit positive, super positive, so-so, a little bit bad day, really negative. So it's always going to move around. Different levels may stick around for longer periods of time or shorter periods of time, but the point I'm trying to bring home is no matter what state you're currently in, that is temporary. So the same holds true with like your workouts. People get unmotivated at times with their workout because you can't stay on level 10 motivation on your workout every single day of every single year. Like, you can't. I don't. If someone tells you they are on level 10 motivation every time they walk through the gym, they are lying to you. Okay, so sometimes you're going to be hot in the gym and sometimes you're going to be cold. There's going to be times when you're going to skip a day that you're supposed to work out. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. There's going to be times when you're going to skip a couple workouts and be like, man, I haven't been in there in a week. What's wrong with me? And you beat yourself over the head for it. And oh man, I just lost the ground that I was gaining. Um, I've been training seriously since '94. And I can tell you, as a point of reference, for 27 years of training, that you go through all these different levels. And there's a couple times I've been out of the gym for like 2 solid years at a time. You talk to someone who's a newbie in the gym and they're all fired up and they've been hitting it hard for a year, year and a half, and you try to tell them, imagine for 2 years not touching a weight. Like, you tell someone that when they're in the middle of being fired up, they'll be like, that would be the end of the world. There's no way I'd want to take 2 whole years off. In the big picture of life, that's not going to ruin you. But at the time, you're bummed out because you're out for that long. So the point I'm trying to make, whether it be life or the gym, when it's in life, whenever a positive moment is happening, really think about it, really absorb it like a sponge absorbs all the water that can hold. Do not take it for granted. Um, if you're sitting on your front porch and it's a warm summer day and there's a light breeze and you hear birds and you're like, man, this is just awesome. I got my cell phone by me. I got music going. The weather's perfect. Don't just people have a tendency just to, like I say, they have a tendency to not really take it in, and they kind of take it for granted a little bit. They get used to things being a certain way, and then whenever it's not happening and something doesn't feel awesome, what's the first thing you do is you look back and you think to yourself, man, I remember when this was happening. That was awesome. I wish I was back there doing it. But when it was happening, you weren't appreciating it to the level that you are now, that you've been pulled away from it and it's not happening. What I'm trying to tell people to do is train your mind so that as it is happening, you are actively appreciating that moment for what it is. If you can train your brain to start doing that, you will be much better off. And tell yourself when you slip into a bad moment, because I slip into some amount of bad moment pretty much every single day. I can't go on, but I've been in a bad moment before that lasted years. But you have to tell yourself you cannot stay at what you feel is the bottom forever. Like, you do not stay there. Life is too dynamic. Things change. When you're at the bottom, eventually it has to go up. So, like I said, I don't want to keep reiterating the same point over and over again, but you're going to have good times and good feelings and good experiences, and you're going to have bad. Absorb the good and fully absorb it. And whenever the bad is here, tell yourself, this is temporary. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and this is just going to be a memory. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. I'm going to move on. It may not be tomorrow. It might be a week from now. But you've got to learn on both ends of the spectrum to consider it temporary. Once you consider both aspects, good and negative, as temporary, you appreciate everything in general more. You get over the negative quicker, and you enjoy the positive even that much more. When it comes to the gym aspect of things, like I said, you're not always on level 10. If you go to the gym on a specific day and you're like, I did okay, but I didn't push as hard as I could have, that's today. Tomorrow may be a different story. There's certain times when I get up and it's a beautiful sunny day and I am so motivated. I can't wait to get in the gym. There's times when it's the night before and I wish that I could hurry up and go to sleep so that I can hurry up and wake up so I can get to the gym as soon as they open. There's also been times where I have pulled up to the gym. I've forced myself to drive there. I was like, it's an obligation. You got to go work out. You don't want to skip a day. I've forced myself to drive there. I've gotten into the parking lot, turned off my car, sat there, thought about it for 10 minutes, and I told myself, I'm not feeling it at all. I can't. And I've turned my car back on and went back home. So, the moral of the story, the negative doesn't last forever. So you will get over it, and it will be in the rearview mirror. Absorb the positive like a sponge. Put a sponge in a quart of water and watch what happens. All that water goes into the sponge. Absorb the positive moments as they're happening. This is Eagle Owl. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. I'm trying to make videos as often as I can, but I don't want to make a video just for the sake of making one. I want to be inspired and I want to have a reason to make one. Always appreciate all the views. Have a great day.